As a drought continues to ravage parts of the country, an irrigation scheme of its kind is helping a section of locals in parts of Karachuonyo and Rangwe constituencies in Homa Bay County to keep hunger at bay. For more than a decade, the Kimira-Oluch Smallholder Farmer Improvement Project has provided the residents with a lifeline. KBC Channel 1 Edward Kabasa with details of how this innovative idea is improving land productivity and increasing smallholder farmers' average income.
This is Karachuonyo constituency in Homa Bay County. Despite its proximity to Lake Victoria, water is still considered a scarce resource here, and many farmers depend on rain-fed agriculture. Much of the crops that are grown are largely for subsistence, save for cotton and groundnut, which are for years earned farmers some considerable revenue. However, things are gradually changing with the drop in cotton prices and lengthy dry spells.
Though the price of cotton was slightly revived upwards from 48 shillings to 55 shillings, the ongoing drought has negatively affected the yield.
To mitigate the effects of climate change and to financially empower locals, the African Development Bank developed an irrigation scheme and handed it over to communities. That is how the Kimira-Oluch Smallholder Farm Improvement Project came to life. The irrigation scheme covers some 800 acres of land, snaking its way into villages and spewing its waters into farmlands. For George Mboya, the water which flows right past his gate has made it easier to make a living. Just like some of his neighbors, George earns his daily bread from making and selling bricks.
Some used to sink boreholes, but the water wasn't enough. Back then, one could only produce 300 bricks, but that has since changed. We can make up to 3,000. It all depends on your effort.
Some 700 meters we find Esther Mboya. Her garden is a sight to behold. It is dotted with crops such as tomatoes, maize, indigenous vegetables. Fruits such as oranges, bananas and mangoes also grow here, all made possible by hard work and the availability of water.
Drought or no drought, we are always cultivating. We are leveraging on this water for our daily bread.
George Salim has been elected thrice to steer this innovative project, once as a vice chairman and twice as a chairman. He says though the project has been a blessing to many, some locals have refused to embrace it.
The few determined people are getting the result of what it was intended to.
We didn't know where this water is actually coming from, but we have actually been explained by one of the local residents here that this water is coming from River Watch. So, and it's now being the water is now being distributed to different users. The users are farmers living around this particular area. So I think we've actually learned a lot, and my students have also learned a lot in this case. So at least now when they get to cover that topic, they'll be in a position to understand what irrigation canals is all about, how they convey water to different users, etc.
Up the river, a fish production project is taking shape. Moga Fish Farm uses the irrigation waters to hatch fingerlings, which are then sold to fish farmers in the region. The farm pumps its water right from the canal and into its ponds. The hatchery has sustained local fish farmers and is helping them meet the growing demand for fish in the country. The Kimira-Oluch Smallholder Farm Improvement Project has also enabled farmers here to venture into rice production, a practice they had for a long time avoided due to lack of a sustainable water supply.
Without irrigation within this region, Kimira will not be what it is today. We appreciate the work the government has done for the people of Karachuonyo, that we are now able to produce rice, do horticulture, and a lot of other things we are doing within the scheme.
Hizo mamtaro hazijasafishwa vizuri. Kwa hivyo hapo nadhania tukisikana kama wakulima tu tukue timu moja, hiyo tunaweza fanya tu. Kwa hivyo hapo hiyo si jambo kubwa sana.
The women we have here, most of them are widows, and I'm happy for now they have something to put on the table.
Tunawaomba ya kwa mtilie maanani sana, especially in the county of Homa Bay. We will wish the government to help us to do kilimo biashara, especially in the rice sector.
What began as a feasibility study in the 1980s has turned this semi-arid region into a prospective breadbasket. The project is currently benefiting over 400,000 households spread out in Karachuonyo and Rangwe constituencies and is directly feeding thousands of others in Homa Bay County and beyond. For Prime Edition, I am Edward Kabasa.